there's three big places real estate agents get leads. One is Facebook lead ads, which you guys already have a great connector for. You can, you got a native connection, comes right in, put them right in a funnel, you're ready to go. Real estate agents also love realtor.com and Zillow.
Okay.
So these are two lead generations. Often an agent will have, they'll be paying for leads, they'll be paying for their face to show up next to different listings as people kind of search on Zillow, search on realtor.com. They see a house they like that says, hey, Chase is the agent in your area. Would you like more information? They put in their information. It emails you. And then that's it in your email until you get a chance to see it.
Yeah.
But if you sync it to HighLevel, as it comes in, instead of it just sitting in your email, it goes right into HighLevel, goes right into your campaigns, and you're ready to go.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the HighLevel Spotlight Sessions, where we showcase awesome marketers doing awesome marketing. Today, I'm joined by Gabriel Hagstrom. He is the marketing manager and chief educator at API Nation, which connects apps and automates work for thousands of agencies around the world. Gabe, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
I love talking about integrations. I'm excited for our conversation today because we're going to do it through the lens of real estate marketing, which actually isn't something that I have personal experience in. It's one of the few industries where I've never actually had any clients in that industry. So I'll be curious to hear your thoughts. But let's start with the basics. API Nation is what?
API Nation is a platform full of apps. We have productivity apps, we have marketing apps, and as Chase says, we have a ton of real estate apps. And that's kind of where we have seen a lot of traction, because if you're working with real estate agents, they have a ton of different little apps that they've signed up for, and they are spending a lot of time managing them. In fact, I've talked to agents and they often have one person dedicated, they've hired them, they're dedicated to just copying and pasting from one app to the other. So yeah, that's where we come in. We show you all the apps you can connect them, and then you don't have to copy paste, you don't have to import export. These guys just talk to each other like good employees. You want these employees to talk to each other, and then they share this information back and forth, and then you can focus on your main apps like HighLevel. You can just focus on that and not have to worry about managing, your mobile phone book, your email newsletter app, your, video messaging, none of that. That just manages itself. And you can just hop into HighLevel, do your work.
And so I think the reason we picked real estate is because that's the industry where we share the most customers, right? There are most high levelers. This is what they're doing in API Nation. So I want to point out that in API Nation, you can find the HighLevel app. You can also find it under Lead Connector as well. So if you had to send a client in there, you could tell them to look for a Lead Connector and not have to expose the white label. So what are typically people doing between HighLevel and these apps? What's the need for the connection? What are you seeing?
Mostly it is small, time draining tasks. So probably the three biggest connections we see people making are one, syncing it to their phone. So getting contacts synced automatically from HighLevel to your Android phone, or we can also sync to iCloud, your iPhone. Either way, a lot of people use their phone as their, kind of their base CRM, and it's got a lot going on in it. They've added people, they've added notes, they've added all that stuff. So what we did is we connect that to HighLevel, so that as you add people to your phone, somebody texts you, you save them as a contact, they'll show up in HighLevel later on. You can put them in a funnel, and you can start, pushing them through the pipeline. So that's the first way most people set this up. Let's connect it to my phone, get these contacts back and forth so that these kind of work real seamlessly together.
Interesting. That makes sense, because I think typically it's the other way around. People don't we don't get a lot of other industries saying, hey, I want all my phone contacts syncing into HighLevel, but
Yeah.
realtors, I could see they do want that. So that makes sense to me. What else are you seeing?
Yeah, realtors are very interesting if you're working with them as, if they're one of your clients, they often will just end up using whatever app is like open at the time to like save a contact. And then pretty soon they have some contacts in this app, some contacts in this app, whatever app was open. So syncing them all together is definitely like a good way to just keep everything on the same page. Another way people use it is a lot of times we'll have people come to us with a very built out newsletter list or a drip campaign in an app like MailChimp or Constant Contact, or pretty soon Active Campaign. So they've spent a lot of time, they've built it out in one of these apps, and they probably had this app for a long time, probably before they grabbed their CRM or they grabbed HighLevel. And so they've honed it, they like it, and they want to be able to use these things together. And so that's what they do. They connect HighLevel to Constant Contact. Then as contacts leads come in, they automatically get synced into that newsletter. The newsletter just keeps updating. You build out this list. You can drop them into the drip campaign you love so much, and you can send them through that way. So it's just a way, if you really fall in love with an email newsletter app like Constant Contact or MailChimp, you've built them out, it's a lot of equity you've put in there. Then you can just connect it to HighLevel and use those two great apps together like one.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I would encourage those people to ditch the bill. But hey, some people are married to certain things for whatever reason. So why not make it easy to use the two together? What about speed to lead? We talk a lot about this topic, and we talk a lot about a 5-minute window when a new lead is generated, and the statistics, that if you're not engaging a lead in the first 5 minutes, it basically falls off a cliff, the odds of ever closing that lead. So what do you see people doing in that regard?
Yeah, no, I saw a stat yesterday that was like, if you can contact them in the first minute, like just as soon as they submit the lead, get that email, get that text out, your odds of conversion are 391% higher, which mathematically is like, yeah, you're insane. That's crazy. But yeah, typically how that works with real estate agents is there's three big places real estate agents get leads. One is Facebook lead ads, which you guys already have a great connector for. You can, you got a native connection, comes right in, put them right in a funnel, you're ready to go. Real estate agents also love realtor.com and Zillow.
Okay.
So these are two lead generations. Often an agent will have, they'll be paying for leads, they'll be paying for their face to show up next to different listings as people kind of search on Zillow, search on realtor.com. They see a house they like that says, hey, Chase is the agent in your area. Would you like more information? They put in their information. It emails you. And then that's it in your email until you get a chance to see it.
Yeah.
But if you sync it to HighLevel, as it comes in, instead of it just sitting in your email, it goes right into HighLevel, goes right into your campaigns, and you're ready to go.
Nice. That makes a lot of sense. So real estate agents have two prime lead sources, and we're just feeding them right into our HighLevel automation so that we can guarantee that every lead gets engaged within the first minute, therefore increasing our odds of conversion by 300 and something percent, like you just pointed out.
Yeah,
exactly. That while that sounds pretty straightforward, it always amazes me how many marketers they don't have that system in place. And it's like, when you see the stats, it's shocking. It's like, think about the time and resources and money that you're just throwing away to generate these leads because they're not getting engaged.
Yeah, Zillow leads in particular are very expensive at this point. The real estate market is very hot. When the leads come through, they are, a couple $100 depending on what market you're in.
Wow.
And so if that comes in and it sits in your email until Monday morning when you hop in and take a look, they've probably moved on and called some other realtor that they like, and you spend a couple $100 for, a good, yeah, exactly.
Well, so talk to me about pricing. So in a world of Zapier, how does API Nation win customers over?
Yeah, there's two big things. So one, and this is going to become real important when you're sending this out to your clients and you're saying, hey, you were asking me about how do I connect this to realtor.com? I want those leads right in there as soon as possible. Connecting realtor.com to HighLevel is super easy. I can show you what it looks like to connect one of these apps. So that is the first thing, is just we've worked with real estate agents. We sat with them, watched them turn it on, see where they get hiccups. And then we've kind of smoothed it out. Some other platforms, there's a lot of configuration options. There are a lot of buttons to push. There's a lot of toggles. There's a lot of almost code that is a little bit intimidating for someone like a real estate agent. This is really just like sign in, choose where you want it to go, and then hit a big button, and then just watch them come in. So that's the first way. The second way is actually the pricing. I used to work with a guy who was running a small business, and he was using Zapier for a lot of it. And one of the reasons he was not excited about it is every month he would get a kind of a big question mark of a bill. How big is it going to be this month? It's really tough to budget. If I was super productive, if I was really moving, getting leads, doing all that stuff, sending people back and forth, I kind of get punished for being productive as I move that data back and forth. So we actually chose to just go with a flat rate. Every connection is a la carte. So if you connect it to iPhone, that's one flat rate. If you connect it to Zillow leads, that's one flat rate. And it doesn't matter if you get one lead, it doesn't matter if you get 1,000 leads. It's always just going to say the same bill as it comes across.
That's pretty great. I mean, we kind of share that mentality. It never made sense to us where, like, alternative apps that price by contact, for example, the better job you do as a marketer, the more the bill goes up for the tool. And every month the client feels like they're getting nickel and dimed because you're actually, producing success for them. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool. I would say your biggest advantage is that your name can't be mispronounced.
You would be surprised. Yeah. You'd be surprised.
It's so funny to me how it's like, it's really 50-50 whenever I see someone about to talk about Zapier, I'm like, oh, what's going to be Zapier.
Yeah, it's tough. The only way I can remember it is they had like a tagline, Zapier is happier, or Zapier makes you happier. But yeah, we get that.
Said, are you building Zapes or are you building Zaps?
That's right. That's probably an easier way to do it. Yeah. But some people would be like, yeah, I set up some Zapes here. I've got like 6 Zapes running. Yeah. Never underestimate people's ability to, invent their own way to do it. I mean, we get Appy Nation all the time. They just see it. They're like,
all right, I can see that if it's not like color, like differentiated, like the way it is behind you on your background.
Yeah. Or they just call it APIs. I want to buy an API, which is also, yeah. So just keep that aware. If your client calls you and is like, hey, can you set up one of these APIs for me? They don't want you to build an API. They probably just want you to connect 2 apps together.
Nice. Good to know. Well, do you want to flip on your screen share and show us what it looks like to connect one of these?
Let's do it. Yeah. Can you see the homepage here?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So if you go to API Nation, this is what it'll look like. Connecting apps, never been easier. That's the idea here. You can learn a little bit more about us if you go down and kind of read through some testimonials, but you are just looking to discover some connections. So you click that big button. And these are all the apps. So you can see probably 90% real estate is where we're at. But there's also some great general use apps. For example, Google Contacts, Google Drive, Google Sheets. We've just moved into vacation rentals. There's an app called Guesty, which helps you manage vacation rentals. So that is big there. And like I said, some marketing stuff, Jotform, Constant Contact, we'll have Active Campaign in the future. Outlook, which is, kind of the redheaded stepchild of most integrations. They always have an iPhone. They always have Gmail. But if you have Outlook, good luck, man. So we started connecting that to people.
I always love Jotform. You can do some really complex stuff with forms there. that you can't yet do in HighLevel. So that's a great connection.
Yeah, yeah. One we just added actually was Thanks.io, which is a physical mail app.
Oh,
So
nice.
people will connect their CRM to it, and then they'll just send accounts over to Thanks.io. Thanks.io has kind of mastered that art of making postcards look handwritten. So if you just want to send somebody over there, you just have the sync set up, hop into Thanks.io, fire off even as little as one postcard, just thanks for coming by the open house. You can do it that way. So let's hop into HighLevel real quick and see what it looks like to connect. So I'm going to click on HighLevel. These are all the apps available to connect to HighLevel. Like I said, down at the bottom, you're going to see Zillow, Realtor.com. Both are currently finishing up beta. So if you want to try them now, you get 30 days free. And then we also have the iPhone, Google Contacts, Google Sheets. I'm going to go ahead and connect it to Google Contacts right now. And then we also do have CRMs that are popular in real estate. Let me go back real quick. Like KV Core, like Brivity, because oftentimes a broker will give an agent a CRM and say, I'm paying for this. Please put your people in here. And an agent doesn't necessarily want to. But if they set up an automation that syncs these things back and forth, they can keep doing their stuff in HighLevel, the stuff they built out.
Yeah.
And contacts will keep moving in the CRM their broker gave them. So when the broker comes in, they see, hey, it looks like you're working great. Everything's in here. The team has all the contacts they need. I have no complaints. Please keep doing what you're doing. So we'll have people do that with, KV Core, Line, Brivity.
So this is cool. You pick the two, and then it doesn't matter which order you picked them, because then it asks you, do you want to go HighLevel to the other one or the other one to HighLevel?
Exactly. Cool. Yeah. Most people will do both, but we do have people who are just like, I just want it one way. And then up here, you'll see this is the flat rate. And that is for everything on the page. So we do occasionally have people who not only set it up both ways, but they'll set up this up 3 or 4 or 5 different ways with slightly different configurations, set up different labels in Google Contacts so they come into HighLevel a little bit differently. And it's all going to still be the same $10. It's all the same flat rate. So
cool.
Activate. First step, just connect to Google Contacts. Just confirm you're not currently doing this with another platform, just so we don't have it syncing while another app is syncing. And then suddenly you are creating many duplicates. It's pretty unusual somebody's doing that, but it's happened at least once. So we had to put that in there. So you're going to connect Google, and then you're going to connect HighLevel. You'll just sign into HighLevel, and you'll choose the account. So there's our API Nation HighLevel. This is what it'll look like for all the syncs, basically. This is the last page. It just asks you pretty plainly what exactly you want to happen. So Google Contacts are going into HighLevel. Do you want a special group to go into HighLevel? Or by default, do you just want everybody you've added to your phone, to your Google Contacts sent in? This is where I said some people will set up different configurations.
Yeah.
But if you're just kind of making this connection, I just want my phone, synced to HighLevel, just go with default. Sync all contacts. Basically, that just will take everybody who've ever added into Google Contacts who exists, push them in there. Sometimes we get an agent or a broker who says, my Google Contacts is nuts. I got, 10,000 people in there. Please don't push them all in there. In that case, leave this box unchecked. That just means as contacts are added to Google Contacts from today going forward, those will get moved in.
That's nice. Yeah, just moving forward.
Yep. And then as they come into HighLevel, do you want Google Contacts to completely overwrite anybody who already exists? So, you see Chase Buckner, you add him to your phone, but he already exists in HighLevel. Do you want the stuff you added to your phone to come in and overwrite it? Or do you just want to come in and have any additional information? So let's say you add a second email. It's just going to come in, push in that second email, leave everything else how it is. Most people do not want it to overwrite. They just want it to, push in whatever is new. So I would suggest it. Exactly. Append. Yeah, exactly. And then here's our mapping. We just updated to this awesome new option here. So stuff like first name, last name, email, we match it up for you. If you want to put something in like full name, you can do that. You just hit this plus sign, first name, space, plus sign, last name. You can put the title here if you want, if that's your jam. And then the other thing we did is search something like phone. So come in here, I'm going to add phone. We've had people who put it in home phone. We have people who put it in mobile phone. We have people who put it in company phone. And so oftentimes it was like hit or miss. I want it to go into my phone. Why can't you just figure out which one it is? So what we did is we started doing, put these in here, home phone, mobile phone, business phone, other phone, and then hit this gear. And then you can assign them a priority. So depending on, it's going to look, and if it has a home phone, that one's going in the phone. If there is no home phone, it's going to put the mobile phone in. If there is no mobile phone, it's going to put the business phone, and so on. So
that's cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of a small thing, but once you realize, oh man, for 2 years I've been adding people to my phone and putting them in mobile phone, and now I need to figure that out. So, and then the last couple of things that are pretty cool here, you can specify the source, which will make them easy to find, and also tags. So you can have everybody that come over with specific tags. And you don't have to put in a field, for example. So you can put in a field if you have something coming over, like maybe you want to have them tagged with their company or their job title. You can absolutely do that. But maybe you just want to have them tagged with, came from phone, one word. It'll just slap this
you could use
text.
A field and it would make it a tag. That's cool.
Exactly, yeah. And you can do that with everything here. If there's anything in here, you just want to put like a custom snippet of text in there for everybody. You can do it that way. So nice. That's it. And you just hit activate sync. This thing is rolling. It's going to go ahead and do it every 15 minutes. It's going to check your contacts. Go ahead and sync it to HighLevel. Like I said, if you want to do this a couple times, it's really easy. Just hit this clone button. And then you can come through here and say, all right, cool, that one worked. I'm going to go ahead and create a hot leads. So then when I label them hot leads in Google Contacts, it's going to come over, do the exact same thing, but this time I'm not going to tag it came from phone. I'm going to tag it hot leads. And then I'll sync this one. And now I have a regular sync running, and I have a special sync just tagging people with hot leads as I add them to the hot leads folder in Google Contacts. Nice. And then usually we tell the people, go ahead and label this so you remember what it's doing. Not hot leads. Oop. There we go. And then that's it. So that's how you set it up. Yeah. And it'll look easy. Yeah. And then it'll look the same for HighLevel, or if you send somebody out, you'll send them this lead connector link, and then you can just come in here, connect it up with whatever they need, and up and running.
That's awesome. Thank you for adding the lead connector.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. We have a lot of people look for it and ask about it, so that's great.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, Gabe, thanks so much for coming on to show this off. If you guys are watching, and especially if you're working with realtors, it sounds like there's a couple of popular CRMs that they're accustomed to that need to be connected to HighLevel. And I really love the flat pricing. So it's apination.com, right?
Yeah, apination.com. You can go to apination.com/HighLevel. It'll just take you right to the page with all the HighLevel syncs. And you can just start connecting, start taking those small business processes that kind of take 5 or 10 minutes every day. Just take them off your plate. It's going to give you an extra hour, 2 hours a week to focus on more important stuff, fun stuff.
Very cool. At a standard flat rate. I love it. Well, Gabe, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.